All right, guys, I have a new setup here. I found this table in my garage that I forgot I had. That way I can work out in my room here without the noises of the house all around and the distractions. So this is a little nicer. So I got my box of capacitors in the mail that I ordered. All of them came in that go in this board here. And I'm really hopeful that that is the solution to the picture problem that I've been having. The first thing I'm going to do is take these out and organize them and compare them to my notes here and to the capacitors that I took out and just make sure they're all in order there. And then I'll get to soldering them into the board. And then we're going to fire it up and see if that corrected the problem. Really, in hindsight, kind of wish I would have just ordered all the capacitors for this TV because they probably all should be replaced, but I really do want to do it one step at a time because this is overwhelming enough as it is. And that way, if I make a mistake or something, I know where the mistake was if I don't recap the whole thing at once. So we'll start here, and if I find any other issues, I can always go back and take this other board out or these other boards out and recap the whole TV. But for now, I'm just going to do this board here, and we'll see if it makes a difference. So I'm going to try to set the camera up so you can see some of my work here, but let's give this a shot. All right, guys, I confirmed that all the new capacitors here in this cup match my diagram here. So the next step is to place the capacitors in the board with the proper polarity, and then I'm going to attempt to solder. And yeah, so my iron's been heating up, so let's give this a shot here, shall we? Let's see here. Reference my diagram. This is a 33/160 volt. Just going to bend these so it doesn't fall out. Next we have 10 microfarad over 160. And that goes right here. Negative facing to the left. Okay. So this is the last one. This one actually, they didn't have a 20 microfarad over 100 volts. So I got a 20 microfarad over 400 volts. That's all I could get a hold of. The higher the voltage apparently is fine. That's just what it's rated for. So you can have a higher voltage rating. That's not going to be a problem. The microfarads is the bigger important factor. And at least the voltage rating that was on here or higher. So I had to get this one. So this is the last one. Negative facing left. Right there. So there's all my capacitors on the board, ready to be soldered on the back side. I'm also going to double check with some of the photos that I took, just to double check the polarity and make sure that everything's right before I go soldering these in. So, all right, guys, I've compared my board with the previous picture just to double check the polarities and everything seems right. So I'm going to set the camera back up and get to soldering. Hopefully you can see this okay. go. I'm getting better. Not great, but I'm getting better. Gotta be careful not to burn these wires. I burned a little bit with the desoldering, so I gotta be careful not to continue to do that. And I might have to address some of the ones that I've already burned. So that's fun. Don't burn my hand. Don't burn the wires. Okay. Tight quarters. Okay, that one went good. My friend Yoshi, who I don't talk too much anymore because he's pretty much off the internet, off Twitter and everything, but we met up several times at the Mag Fest and hung out. Good guy. He gave me this, my desoldering iron here, gave me all this solder and this stuff here to clean the tip. So that's why I have a lot of this stuff, because he gave it to me. So I know you're probably not watching, Yoshi, but thanks. His name is Ben, his real name. Good guy. That might be it. I'm just gonna kind of double check and pretty some of these up. Make some of these solder points a little better, because you know, I'm no expert. Can you see? Now what I want to do is, I got to be careful with solder bridging, so I got to kind of scrape in between any solder joints that I think might be an issue. So I did miss one that's tucked underneath all these wires. It's gonna be really a bit of a challenge to get to, but I can get it. Hopefully you can see this. And the other one is tucked even further. Ooh, how am I gonna get to that without burning wires? Gonna have to spread these out. Ooh, okay, there we go. Alright guys, here's a close-up view of some of my soldering. There's some there. I gotta clip my leads off here in a minute. There's some there. That one there, I don't know if you can see it. I'm a little concerned about that one. I couldn't see if that was supposed to be bridged, that resistor and that capacitor. 6539 and resistor 561. I can't really be sure. I don't have a schematic for this, which would be nice, but I was trying to document everything really nice so I can put it back the way it was. But there's some of my soldering there. Let's see if I can focus there. Some there, so, you know, I guess it's not the best, but I'll get my light over here so you can see better. Come on, focus. There we go. There's some there. And over there. So I'm going to start clipping my leads off here. Well guys, when I was clipping the leads, I noticed I missed a solder joint. You see that in the left corner? Let me see if I can find something to point to it. right there. I missed that one. So you really got to check these things and be pretty thorough to make sure you don't do something stupid like that. But yeah, right there, I missed that joint, that lead there to solder. So my iron's still on, so I'm going to take care of it right now. Well guys, I really wanted to fire this thing up with it still open, but this these pins here plug into the back. Let me turn my light on so you can see. Kind of plug into the TV. It's the casing here, and I don't have any kind of a way. You would think I would, since I'm an electrician. I probably could jerry rig something up, but I don't really want to do that, because if I short something out, I can mess something up. So I'm going to go ahead, I mean, at this point, put the board back, get it all put back together, and just hope for the best. And for some reason it doesn't work, or my repair wasn't successful, I need to kind of open it back up and kind of do some more troubleshooting or replace some more capacitors or something anyway. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and button this thing up, and we're going to see how this thing turned out and keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best. I'm also going to clean this out real good, the interior, wipe it down. This is actually real wood, by the way, guys. This is not fake wood. Look at that construction from the mid to late 70s here. It's pretty cool, pretty impressive. But I'm going to clean this thing up on the inside. Once the repair is made, if it works, I'm going to detail it on the outside and clean it up real good and clean the chrome and kind of detail it so it looks perfect. But the first thing is to get this thing back together and see if I was successful. Looks a little better. Cleaned it up real good on the inside. Now I'm going to put it together. I look in there and make sure that those prongs are plugging into the high voltage. That thing's a little wiggly. It's hard to see, but goodness. I think I've got it. This is the antenna bracket. There's screws on the bottom as well, so I'm going to carefully tilt this on its side. There are also a bunch of controls here. It's kind of strange. You got to have the TV on its side to adjust. Now I messed with all these, so when I first fire this thing up, if it doesn't look perfect, I'm not going to freak out too much because I've got to tweak all these adjustments, but at the same time, if I still see those curves on the insides, then I'm gonna assume it wasn't a successful repair. Okay. Moment of truth. Not gonna lie, guys, I'm nervous just to plug this thing in. But let's see here. Here goes. Got no smell, no sparks. Okay, I don't see the curves. That's a good sign. I think this is, uh-oh. We got that flicker still. But that's better. Remember that was all flickery? All right, let's see if we can tweak some of this. It looks like that was corrected. Let's get this thing on the side. Tweak these other controls on the bottom. I don't know what this is here. It's giving me some concern though. Well, guys, I don't know, but that looks pretty good so far. I've got to get a picture put on there and adjust the color and all that stuff, but that might be a fix. That might be a win. It might be a success. Let's get something hooked up and see how it looks. Oh. Oh. All right, let's do some more adjusting because I'm still seeing that same problem. Daggone it. Pac-Man. Alright, I'm gonna have to flip this thing up on its side again to get to the bottom. Pin cushion effect. Okay, there we go. There's pin cushion effect. So why can't I get that vertical? Let me try it on the top here. See, cutting off the top of the thing. I need to get the screen's up too high. Not sure what's going on with that. So you can do that, but then it cuts off the top of the screen. Why can't I get the vertical? Why can't I get this? I don't have a vertical center adjustment, which I don't understand. There's vertical size and vertical line. You would think there's a vertical center, there's a vertical line, which just doesn't center it. It changes the size. I wonder if there's a adjustment on the inside, like a pot, that's only available to like a technician to adjust that. I'm not sure why they wouldn't have a vertical center. Here's my vertical adjustment here, but that's just like, I don't think I'm supposed to do that. It's bouncing. Is that what I'm supposed to do? It's like real touchy. And they kind of fixed it. Well, let's see how it looks. All right, let me adjust the horizontal center a little bit. Well, the color's definitely off. Excuse my head. See, I think there's a little bit of a tilt now that I see. Well, let me see if I can adjust. I guess that's about the right size. Maybe that is like a phone. Maybe it's just real touchy. Seems kind of okay. Might be a little bit of a pin cushion or tilt issue there. And that's on the bottom again. Let me try that one more time here. That might be good. Yeah, it's supposed to see that number there. And it's off screen. Okay, well, that looks decent, right? That looks perfect. It looks perfect. Let's do some color adjusting here, because that's really off. There's color adjustments on the back as well. Well, right off the bat, I think I got the screen. The pin cushion issue or the side issue is fixed, it looks like, anyway. Just got to make some adjustments. Let me get a different game in there. You know what? Pitfall is going to be a good one for color, I think. Let's put some Pitfall in there. Oh, okay. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Ooh, there we go. You guys want to see a good Pitfall video, the path to perfection, which I'm not doing now, but check out that video. I beat Pitfall, which maybe you didn't know that was possible, but I did. Colors are still a little off, but I can play with that. Here's the box. Oh, they don't have any, that's supposed to be blue. So let's start with trying to get that to be blue. This probably isn't real exciting, this part here, but hey. Now in Atari games, there's always a black line on the left. That's normal. But looks like I may have fixed it. I do want to get these colors right, though. That water blue. Ooh. It's hard to see when you're that close. The true test is I can put this in my on my other television and just compare. And this looks a little brown. I think that should be more black. It's not terrible. Nice bright picture. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's a bright blue on the screen there. I want to get it more like that. Now this has some adjustments too here, but that looks pretty good to me. It's blue, the trees are green. That's what I'm shooting for. And I didn't realize there's an Activision down there. I couldn't see that, I don't think, on the other TV. So I need to do some other adjustments, I think, for that. There we go. So there's the Activision logo. Square up some. Okay. Now I need to find that one more time. I need to flip it on its side and adjust that. There we go. What's wrong with that? Getting closer and closer. Back in the day, you used to have to tune TVs and fine tune all this stuff just right. The flesh tones and everything. And okay. So let me mess with this color adjustment here. See, that's That's more like a turquoise there. I'm gonna get that more blue. Man, this high pitch sounds really getting worse. When I move the back of the TV, it alters that sound. Ooh, it's a high pitch sound again. There's a way when I push on the back of it. TV. Ooh, I gotta figure out what that is. Some kind of grounding issue maybe. Just went away when I loosened that screw up a little bit. Okay, anyway, let's try another game. River Raid's another game that has distinctive greens and blues. Let's see if that looks normal. No, not at all. Yeah, that looks off. Yeah, that does not look right. I think that's supposed to be green. Let me put it in the other TV and see. Okay, yeah, it's supposed to be green and blue. So we're way off on this. This is a good game to really get this, I think, fixed. Because that should really tell us what we need here. That center knob is not adjusting anything. The blue, I think. Wonder if there's something wrong with that. Well, guys, I really thought this was going to be a two-part video, where this part would be the happy ending part, where I successfully, completely restored this television, and we're just not there yet. Almost. I'm actually pretty satisfied with progress that I made, but there's more work to be done. It's just not the beautiful picture that I want just yet. I think I'm gonna have to take this thing apart again and probably just recap the whole thing, do some more research on some of the adjustments. I hope it's not the CRT itself, because I'm concerned about that color, that middle color, the green and blue. I think it's the blue adjustment doesn't do anything. I'm hoping it's just a pot in there, or maybe a capacitor that's associated with it, because if you get into CRT issues, the TV's pretty much not usable. You're not going to be able to get that replaced, or you can't fix those. So I pray that it's just something that can be fixed or replaced or tweaked. So yeah, but I'm determined, because you know, nowadays there's no electronics shop to drop this thing off at. If I want to get this thing professionally diagnosed and or repaired, I'd have to ship it somewhere, which would cost hundreds of dollars. It'd be well outside the value of the television. So it's up to me to try to restore this thing. But I'm determined. I'm not a quitter. Doesn't mean I don't know my limits, but I'm not willing to give up just yet. My fear is, of course, messing it up. Since I'm not an electronics professional, there's always that fear of my ignorance making the TV worse. I think in this case so far, I did correct the initial problems that I saw, but I think once I did that, I realized there were more issues to deal with. So I'm going to do another video. Hopefully the third part will be the final video where I have a happy ending and get this thing repaired and in working order, so I can use my Atari on it and it looked good. So that's it for now, and look forward to the third part coming up hopefully soon. So check this out, guys. I don't know if you can see this. Turn the light off. But the color looks really good all of a sudden, and so does the sharpness. I turned it on, it didn't look great, and I banged on it. So that, oh, there it goes. Did you see that color change? I don't know what that means, but oh, look. I mean, that looks beautiful. So something is askew in there. But, oh, see, it just keeps on changing. So it's either a short or a capacitor issue. Outside of something like that, it's going to be something that's going to be difficult to diagnose. But, yeah, see, it keeps on kind of coming in and out. So then maybe there's a bad solder joint that I can take a look at, and maybe it's one of the things that I did. Maybe I made a minor mistake on that board. But oh, see, now it looks great. I mean, that looks beautiful. But then it kind of keeps jumping around. So the story continues. We'll see what happens next. Wish me luck.